Skibidi Toilet 73 Part 1 has officially came out. Okay, so we're starting out pretty basic. There is so much destruction at this point. G-Man just got his butt beat up in the last episode, and we saw the Astro Toilets actually look scared for the first time in the entire series. Oh, what? We're rewinding? What's happening? Okay, this is a lot different than any other episode we've seen so far. We're going back in time in the episodes. Look at that. This is when Speaker Man was still infected. And this is when they were upgrading Titan Cameraman. What? This is like back at the very beginning. I'm getting kind of creeped out, boys. I don't know what it is about this episode, but I don't know. I feel like a little sad about everything that's happened so far. September 16th, 1985. Dude, I just got goosebumps. These are people. Actual people. They're not part of the Cameraman Alliance. They're not Skibidis. What is happening? He gave the thumbs up. Who is that guy? This is Cameraman 69. Was he watching that? Was he able to just see like the backlogs of how this all began? Because this war started for a reason, but we don't really know why. Guys, I have goosebumps going up and down my arms right now. Oh my gosh. We just shot out that Buzzsaw Toilet's eyeballs like it was our job. Yes! Oh, I will never get tired of seeing a Skibidi get blown up by toilet paper grenades. That is something that I love watching every single day. Oh, that guy's got a nice tie. Have we seen this dude before? His arm does not look well. Oh, what is happening? Oh my god, bro. He just locked on. He's built different. Let him cook. That dude's giving a thumbs up with a giant buzzsaw in his chest. That is pure dedication. Whoa. Oh, yo, this guy's ripped. Look at those biceps, bro. Buys are for the guys. What are you doing? Don't look at me like that. That's how I look at my cheeseburger before I eat it. Who is this? The scientist? What is he doing? I am so confused right now. What is happening? Oh my gosh, bro. It's Scientist TV Woman. What's up? What, thumbs up? What? I don't get it. Okay, so G-Man is about to come out, right? Because they were transporting these cargo ships, and G-Man was following them. Yep, there he is. Whoa! He looks so surprised. I mean, I am too. What is happening? That's not the scientist, right? That's like a clone of the scientist. G-Man, when he first saw the scientist, he looked so sad. And he still kind of does. What are they transporting, though? That's the big question. We have no answer to it. Also, guys, G-Man is unhinged right now. Who is that? Oh, that's got to be Speaker Man, right? Titan Speaker Man? Yes. Oh! I love the music. Oh! It's the boys! It's the old showdown. All of the Titans. I have no idea what he said, but we're going to figure it out after today's episode, so be sure to stick around. Bro, G-Man looks angry. That was it? That was the entire episode. Are there any secrets? Doesn't seem like it, but guys, there was so much lore in that episode. Let's first off check out the comments. It says, G-Man looked immensely sad after seeing the scientist mech. Also great storytelling. Agreed. We got some like flashback lore. I don't even have to watch to know it was worth the wait. Agreed. 2023, Skibidi. 2024, Speaking Toilets. Not only did we get a whole anime flashback, but G-Man Toilet is finally proving just how much of a threat he's going to be in the future with whatever he's trying to build. And we don't know what that is. Like, all of the cargo ships, obviously, you know, something is inside of them that G-Man is, you know, really scrambling to try to get out of the area, and he wants to survive. Like, now we're going to head over to my brand new favorite channel, Elite Cameraman, who is going to break down that entire episode.
Hello, everyone. Elite Cameraman here. Episode 73, Part 1 just came out, and it truly was a shocker because we got some scenes I don't think anyone expected to see.
I didn't.
For a second, I really couldn't believe what was happening, because the lore dump we just got was probably the biggest ever in the series, and it seems like it is just starting. Until Episode 70, Part 2, we were very clueless about the nature of this world, but ever since we learned the backstory of the secret agent, more and more info has been coming to the surface. What we saw today was a turning point because it answered one of the biggest questions people had until now, a question even bigger than the true nature of Secret Agent and who he is. And this changes everything we knew about the origins of both Skibidi Toilets and the hardware heads. Even though the biggest question was answered, it brought up even more questions with it, which we'll talk about. But before we start, make sure to like this video and subscribe to not miss the future videos. Anyways, here we go. The episode starts with us seeing the POV of Camera Woman in Episode 70, Part 3, right when Dark Speaker Man and Plunger Cameraman were dying.
Oh.
And it's exactly when Plunger Cameraman looked at his right before he saw the Mint Cameraman. I don't know if this matters, but we can actually see his lens protector broken and fallen off. Maybe, but maybe this was intentional to show us that the lens protectors blocked the cameraman from seeing Secret Agent's goons. And another question is, if the lens protector was still on, could the Mint Cameraman use the mind teleporting thingy they did to Plunger Cameraman? These questions probably don't matter compared to what we witnessed later in the episode, but they might become important later on if they are true. After this, we see the Camera Woman trying Comfort Speaker Woman, but Speaker Woman pushes her off to grief for her friend, or maybe even her partner. We don't really know the relationship most Alliance members had, but after this episode, it is clear that they were much closer than we thought they were before the war began. After Speaker Woman pushes Camera Woman off, we see Plunger Cameraman start burning out of nowhere, and I'm gonna be honest, we still have no idea what exactly caused this, but something happens, and the footage strangely freezes for a split second.
Yeah, it has to be something with the Secret Agent. Like, he made that happen. The Secret Agent is the guy that's pulling the strings for the Camera Alliance, but we don't know exactly what his motives are at this point. But obviously, in today's episode, we got a little bit of backstory on the Secret Agent and also just, like, how everything began. So we're going to get into that in just a bit.
It starts rolling back. This was the first time in the whole series where we got to see a flashback. And in the context of the series, it actually makes sense. And we are still watching it from the POV Camera Woman watching from his tablet, as we'll see later in the video. First, we see the footage of Episode 57, where Plunger Cameraman almost died and was once again split in half, just like a Kit Kat. Bro just likes getting split in half, I guess. And Camera Woman might be saying to herself that he'll survive once again. But after this, we start going way back. The next scene is from Episode 52, where we were first introduced to Camera Woman and saw the two together for the first time. Most of you probably were not watching me at that point. But Episode 52 analysis was one of my first analysis videos to get popular, and I remember guessing that the Camera Woman and Plunger Cameraman duo seemed like they already knew each other beforehand. And it looks like this theory was now confirmed. The next scene we see is actually from way back, even before I started making analysis videos.
Wow.
Even though it is a flashback, it is new footage because back then the series actually was only in short format. And I don't.
So this is incredible. So some of the flashbacks, technically, it's new footage, even though it's like of old events. The footage is still new, and it's different angles of events that have already happened. So we're kind of seeing it from a different perspective, which is super duper cool.
I think this is a scene we saw before. My assumption is that it's a scene that happened between Episode 37 and 38, from looking at the environment and the infected Titan Speaker Man. The good old days when our only worry was saving Titan Speaker Man from the parasite toilet.
It got a little bit more complicated.
Also see that Plunger Cameraman actually had a red tie here instead of a black one, clearly confirming that he changed his tie color. After this, we actually see the first version of Titan Cameraman getting upgraded. And I do wonder if they upgraded his sword just like Titan TV Man had his quote-unquote sword upgraded. Here we also see Plunger Cameraman with one leg missing, and it most likely might have happened from what the next flashback showed, because I went through all the shorts, and there were no indications for an event like this.
It's pretty funny because obviously his leg is gone, but he's using an actual plunger as his cane, which is just funny because it's Plunger Man.
But the next scene actually starts with something crazy. We see my eternal enemy, the simp cameraman, sitting on the toilet looking at a particular picture that I need to steal. It is insane that Bro started simping before he was even saved by TV Woman in episode 49, and there are 2 more cameramen looking at the picture with him admiring my beloved TV Woman. Just you wait, simp cameraman. I'ma steal that frame one day.
He's gonna throw hands.
I do wonder when he'll actually be returning, though. He really has been gone for a while. Also in the back, we see a scientist cameraman with a large cameraman cleaning up the place, while Plunger Cameraman is standing in the middle of the street, with the lucky cameraman staring at him. But suddenly something happens and a rocket toilet appears out of nowhere, leaving our quote-unquote lucky cameraman running for his life just like always. And the scene pauses right before the impact, which most likely means Plunger Cameraman lost one of his legs in this battle, and Bro is used to losing legs. And if you look at the right side when the footage freezes, we can see the large cameraman doing the Miles Morales shocked face. Even with all this, the craziest flashback ever, and one of the biggest reveals happens right after this scene, and it is clear that there is a camera head looking at the screen, but it's black and white and impossible to understand who or when it is. And the next thing we know, the camera aspect ratio changes, and the footage starts looking like a VHS tape, and we see humans. We see a woman setting up the camera in a room full of scientists, while an announcement says, "Attention Group C, please prepare for the experiment." And she says, "Dave, look back," while giving a double thumbs up just like Camera Woman, and Dave says, "Nah, I'm good."
So guys, I want you to comment down below what you think they're working on, because obviously they're all scientists and it's something big. Like they have a bunch of code on the screen. Those look like some pretty serious computers that they're working on, like some NASA level computers. So comment down below what you think they're working on. Personally, I think that maybe eventually we'll get some information that the creation of the Skibidis was some sort of like science experiment gone wrong. And then the Skibidis were created, and then the Cameraman Alliance was created by the secret agent to try to fight back against these Skibidis and get them under control.
While this is going on, the white suit scientist on the left says, "Switch it back to normal." And the woman says, "All right to Dave," which continues on with the scientists on the left saying, "Okay, we are all set. Proceed with phase 1, Kathy." And Dave gives a thumbs up, suddenly looking back at the camera, even though he said no at first. And right before they start the experiment, which leads up to the huge blue laser beam firing, Kathy says, "Opening the gate." Before we talk about the meaning of this scene, watch it once without any interruptions.
It's such a weird, creepy clip. So you can see where they get the thumbs up from. All of these scientists seem to know what the thumbs up is, obviously. So it kind of just makes you believe that either they're the ones that created the Cameraman Alliance, or they themselves became the camera people, the speaker people, the TV people, because they, do the same thing. They do thumbs up, and that's kind of just like part of their entire alliance when something good happens. So you would think that they're definitely on Team Cameraman at the very least.
Before I continue on, did you guys see that at the beginning of the tape? Someone actually moved past the camera, and the clothes look very familiar. It is not 100% clear, but I think it is very likely that these legs who went past by us are the legs of Lucky Cameraman in his human form. As you guys know, a lot of people have been wondering if the hardware heads were human before the Skibidi Toilet started taking over the world, and this scene pretty much confirms it. We know that it's Camera Woman watching and grieving about Plunger Cameraman, and she clearly went way back into her memories, or however you want to call it, and this beautiful lady is clearly Camera Woman.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Topics, damn, bro. She truly has been hiding her diet all this time with the clothes she was wearing. Holy moly.
This guy's funny.
Anyways, we learned that her name is Kathy, and Plunger Cameraman's real name is Dave.
Kathy
At
and
least I
Dave.
assume. Technically, it is not 100% confirmed that Dave is Plunger Cameraman, but I don't see a possibility that it isn't. This also confirms that they all can most likely speak plain English even as cameraman, because we saw Titan Cameraman say, "for Plunger," at the end of the last episode. This does beg the question, though, how did the Titans came to be? Forget the Titans. How did these people become hardware heads?
Exactly. Yeah, we don't have a lot of information on this. Like, it has to be some sort of experiment gone wrong, because why would any person willingly turn themselves into like a camera head person or a speaker head person or like put a TV on your head? It just doesn't really make sense. So I feel like they're stuck in their different forms based on whatever happened in this lab. They didn't want it to happen, but they're kind of just stuck the way that they are. And then this giant war broke out. Maybe it's like over this experiment too. Like maybe this experiment turned the Skibidis into Skibidis, and it turned the hardware heads into the hardware heads, and they were probably fighting over it because maybe it was somebody's fault, but they think it's the other team's fault. And then they just kept fighting, and they kind of forgot what they were fighting about.
Maybe this means that the Titans are actually controlled remotely, or they are just like the scientist toilet controlling these huge robotic bodies from inside. How is it decided who becomes what? Like why Dave and Kathy become a cameraman when some others became toilets and some others became speakerman, so on. I think it's safe to assume that the scientist on the far left might be the mech scientist cameraman we all love and adore. And as I mentioned earlier, there was an announcement at the beginning of the tape, and it said, "Attention Group C," meaning that Group C maybe is the overall group that was working on the blue energy, which is the cameraman energy. It might be safe to assume that Group A and Group B might have been the other two races with different color energies, because the blue energy we see here is clearly the same cameraman energy we know. We don't really know why they are testing this or what exactly they are testing, because this might not just be a test where they test the energy, but maybe there is something bigger going on. We also know that this footage is from 1985, which means it's almost 6 years after the secret agent was hired to the Alpha Hills lab.
Right.
Maybe this place is Alpha Hills lab.
It has to be.
Maybe these guys were working together with the secret agent. Maybe it was secret agent who started all this research. There is an incredible amount of questions we need to be asking. This scene also kind of reminded me of the scene from the first Spider-Verse movie where they were trying to open up the multiverse device. I don't know if that's where Boom is headed, but it is not impossible considering that he dabbled with the idea of multiple universes in one of his old series called Multiverse of Beatbox.
See, I don't know about that, because there's obviously so many different multiverses of Skibidi Toilet that other creators have sort of started. So I don't know if Boom would go down that route, considering that so many other YouTube channels have done it before. Like, I feel like he should stay within this universe and kind of do his own thing. I mean, it would be very cool if like he teamed up with some of the other creators and like brought their creations into this universe, at least like for an episode here or there. But it also seems like at the same time, he shouldn't copy other channels, because they've sort of like taken this idea and they've sort of expanded it with the idea of the multiverse. But you never know. Maybe they'll all team up like the Avengers, and all of the different types of like, there's, you know, drill people, there's clock people, there's like pencil people, all of these different types of people could all come together to fight back against the Skibidis, which would be awesome.
It might be that the secret agent is from another universe, and while trying to go back to his own universe, he created both factions. I think Kathy saying, "opening the gate," does support this idea. And even though we have no idea what this gate is, maybe the hardware heads and Skibidi toilets are a virus that came from a different universe, and the secret agent is trying to clean up his mistakes by creating these gates, or maybe he wanted to do this. We just don't know what's going on. Maybe this experiment was done for a good cause and something completely unrelated, and it just went wrong, leading for it to become the thing that turned them into hardware heads.
Guys, I could also think that maybe the gates are like not necessarily portals, but maybe they are like portals or like wormholes to other parts of the galaxy. So maybe it's in the same multiverse, but just like super far away in the actual galaxy, in like deep space, there's like a planet filled up with Skibidi toilets. And maybe they accidentally opened up some sort of portal, which is the gate that opened it up so that the Skibidis could come through the gate and then infect this world, which would kind of explain why like astro toilets are so powerful because, like, they're super futuristic beings that are just smarter than us as people.
Or maybe there are still years until they become hardware heads. No matter what happened, or how it happened, for some reason, they don't speak at all in most cases and communicate without words. Overall, it feels like they are trying to forget their past and their new lives, as hardware heads are way different. We also have one more theory that comes up from this scene, which is that the special agents are smarter than the average agents. It may be the case that the scientists that were working on these projects are the only special agents, and unless you are above a certain IQ level, it is very hard or impossible to become one of the special agents like the plunger cameraman. According to my interview with Boom a while ago, more characters will be getting introduced soon, so we'll most likely learn more about this as we go on.
Well, that's good.
But what type of coincidence is both camerawoman and plunger cameraman knowing each other and being scientists before becoming cameraman? There also is the question of why the secret agent wasn't affected by all this. As far as we know, he is the last human remaining, at least on the surface. There still might be other humans remaining in shelters, since to our knowledge, a Skibidi needs to come into contact with a human to turn them into toilets.
Right.
Maybe that's how the process of becoming a hardware head worked as well. I'll most likely talk more about this topic in a separate video tomorrow, but for now, let's continue on with the rest of the episode because it looks like we are getting ready for another big battle, and a lot more happened in this episode. After the flashbacks, we finally start seeing the real POV and learn that camera woman was watching all this on her tablet. But bro, what is Boom trying to cook? If you look at the tablet number, Blood gave camera woman number
it's 69.
I'm starting to feel like bro favors camera woman more than my beloved TV woman. He better show us her true beauty when she used to be human. After this, we see that we are in a camera helicopter alongside of other reinforcement cameraman, and everyone starts jumping off to the battlefield to clean up the rest of the base. And camera woman literally snipes helicopter toilets while flying with her upgraded weapons.
So yeah, guys, at this point, we kind of know what happens. They jump down, they start attacking the toilets. Now, I do want to see what he has to say when G-Man comes out of nowhere, because he obviously has those cargo crates. And the same thing, I want to see what happens when the scientist also comes out of nowhere and starts to fight with the Cameraman Alliance.
Reinforcement agents around the area alone.
So yeah, the reinforcements are coming in.
Probably shocked all of us the first time we saw it, because when camera woman turned around, she saw a crazed scientist toilet arriving at the scene who is supposed to be dead, and it's attacking the toilets. He kills both the plane toilets and starts staring at camera woman, but it doesn't attack, and suddenly the tablet gets a notification. And we see my beloved TV woman, who is just the perfect specimen, and she does that cute you pose. Oh my God. I'm down bad. Anyways, a message to Boom here. You showed camera woman's real face. I'm going to be waiting for the TV woman archival footage before the war in my DMs. Thanks. It seems like she is manually controlling the scientist body. When you think about it, she can normally control other toilets with her head, but it seems like since this body is not alive but just a robot, she can't do that since it doesn't have a mind on its own.
That makes sense.
Camera
yeah,
woman
it is
gives
just a
thumbs
robot.
up to TV woman, and we see a bunch of container helicopter toilets arriving at the scene. And whatever Project Scientist toilet was cooking before he died might be really important, because G-Man Toilet is the one escorting this project, and we saw 4 containers already, which TV woman actually shot one of them, and the container actually fell down right before G-Man Toilet arrived to the scene. This is where the first leak's photo has been taken, and now I understand why he was shocked and sad.
Well, yeah,
it seems like
it was
this is where
scientist.
he learned that his bestie died and his body is being controlled. It truly must be sad for him, especially after that kiss they shared in the troll leaks. TV woman attacks G-Man Toilet with the lasers, but it doesn't even do a dent to G-Man Toilet's shield, and bro literally rams onto it and uses his lasers to finish off the body so that it won't be used again. I don't think TV woman died inside the body, and she will definitely come back.
Oh, for sure. No way she's dead.
After he shot the scientist toilet's body, he looks like he is really sad, and
yeah,
he stops
true.
to make sure the chopper toilets get the container back. But camera woman instantly flies on top of the roof to kill the chopters, but her cannon doesn't do any damage. It looks like it's only good against small toilets, and right here when it seemed like it was all done for camera woman, someone starts shooting the containers and kills the chopper toilets, and it's no other than Titan Speaker Man. And the way bro was sitting there as if he is him, And the way he got up with the Valve logo sound, looking like a cowboy spinning his arm cannons was so...
Yeah, that was definitely one of the coolest moments in the entire series. And also, too, leading up to this, we honestly did not know that G-Man was escorting so much cargo. Like, we know that he had like a couple giant crates, but it seemed like there were 5 or 6 or maybe even more of these giant crates that have some super secret science stuff that scientist Skibidi was working on. So if they can track this down, and if they could stop G-Man in his tracks and steal at least one of the big cargo crates, then they'll probably be able to figure out what they're trying to build, which would be like super important.
Cold. After this, the whole gang slowly shows up, and I literally got chills while this was happening. Titan TV Man, as if he comes out of the teleportation smoke, says, "There is nowhere to run in reverse. Here you go, listen to it yourself."
There is nowhere to run. Oh, that's so cool.
Hearing this, G-Man Toilet, instead of becoming scared, starts speaking English for the first time, and damn, Bro's voice was deep as hell. He said, "Fools, you have no idea what's coming," with that deep, majestic voice. Here you go, listen to it yourself.
Guys, I don't know what's going to happen next because G-Man, obviously, you guys know in the previous episode, he's already battled the Astro Skibidi. So he's like already kind of damaged. He's already used up a lot of his power. I don't know if he has it in him to battle all 3 Titans at the same time. I mean, I'm going to say like, I know he doesn't have it in him. So this could be the end of G-Man as we know it.
Which Titan TV Man replies with, "Whatever is coming, you won't survive to see it in reverse. Here you..." Happy for some reason? There is something shady going on, and G-Man might actually cook in part 2 if he is acting as smart as he did in the last episode. We also know that if Titans wins this battle, the Alliance will have a part of whatever the scientist Toilet was building as his last project.
Right, so G-Man can't lose this.
Up episode 74 a lot with the leaks, I really don't know what to expect. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and also...
Guys, that is it for this episode. This had so much info. I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think.